Welcome to the parts unknown, known as the Closet Clement Show. Second and fourth Mondays, 9:30 p.m., 8:30 Central Time, 6:30 on the West Coast or the left coast, as you know.
And
Intro.
9:30 a.m. in Shanghai.
Wow. Oh, we're big in China, huh? Okay, 9:30 to you, to all you Chinese and Asian people. 9:30 to y'all. A lot of things happened this week. Let's just start with the normal stuff. Let's just start with what happened. Mr. Conor McGregor broke his ankle in the middle of the first round, I think. Is that right? I think it was the first round.
The
Or
end,
was it the
yeah,
end
by
of the
the
first round?
end of the first round.
I think he was trying to. I don't know what he was trying. Was he trying to check a kick or something? Or I don't know what he was doing, but he was
He
trying to
had
turn.
checked the kick, but then he was trying to put weight back on the back up the regain his defensive stance, and he fell. And
Ooh,
Poirier jumped
ooh,
on top of him, but Poirier
oof.
couldn't finish him before the round was out.
Okay,
But it happened so quick. You had some people that didn't realize it. They just thought McGregor slipped and fell.
I did
And
too.
you had some people that didn't realize that no, he broke his leg until because of how close it was to the ankle.
Oof,
Until you saw it on the slow mo replay, and then you
oof.
saw at the end of the round, Connor couldn't get up.
Yep.
And that was Connor's thing that he was trying to hold on to the fact that well, I was injured and he couldn't finish me, and I still fought tooth and nail even on my back, that kind of stuff.
Let's be
But
serious. He was getting dominated at the end of the round. Come on, man. Let's be serious.
yeah, but his fan base is going to say because the fact that he couldn't stand up, he couldn't
Yeah.
wouldn't want to stand up because he got a
True.
bad leg. I mean, it wasn't like he gonna come out there and do a crane kick and that's like what else you gonna do? Nah, you can't put no pressure on.
Yeah.
Sweep the leg. I
UFC has
mean,
had a lot of bad luck lately with leg injuries. I think this is the third or fourth time that in a like close to a main event, someone's broken their leg somehow.
I know you had some people, how Connor was saying, yeah, I'm gonna make sure he goes out on the stretcher, and then
Yep.
he himself end up getting pulled out on the stretcher. And then his post-fight adrenaline comments where he talking about his, how you gonna go after, Poirier's wife and children. I'm like, dude,
No, 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 no,
that's
no.
unbecoming
That's
of a
off
champion.
limits. That's off limits.
That's unbecoming of a champion.
You
And then
cannot
I
say
saw
that
the
stuff.
little message that he put on Twitter today, talking about some of his fans, he's gonna come back and I'm like this. Had this happened at the end of round 3, when you're like halfway through the fight or something,
Yeah.
I can see what folks be like, you know what? But because it was round 1, and we've all seen fights where dude was getting killed in the first round, and then he manages to turn it on and turn the tide.
Yep. Yep.
So that being said, I can see Dana wanting to do it. I can understand Poirier not wanting to do it at all. Um, I get it, but it's one of those things that the money is going to be there. Connor
Yep.
can come back. The
Yep.
money is going to be there. Uh,
Fact.
I just, if I'm Poirier, I'm like, why?
I'm not doing it. If I'm Poirier,
The whole doctor
if I'm
stoppage.
Poirier, I'm in line. I'm in line for a title fight. I think is it going to be like later in November or something like that. Late in the fall,
Yeah,
he's going to
something
be
like
in for
that.
a title fight against the champion. I forgot the champion's name because they said it. I think it was Olivier, Charles Olivier, or whatever his name was. I know that's the champion, so he's going to be fighting him supposedly.
Right. But if I'm Poirier, now that means you rematch with McGregor, you basically giving McGregor another title shot. I'm like, does
Exactly.
McGregor deserve another title shot?
No, you fought the man 3 times now. I
No.
think that's
Now,
enough.
if he had beaten Poirier, then I can see the
Yeah, yeah,
argument for it.
yeah.
I just don't. It's if Poirier becomes champion because McGregor gonna be out at least a year. I'm
Yep.
like these type of angle. Yes, he said it was a clean break. So clean breaks, normally heal quicker. Um, even let's say if it's a year. Poirier fights in November, fights for the title.
Uh-huh.
Poirier maybe fight next the following March, April,
Yep.
or so you're talking about maybe August,
Yep.
end of August, first
Yep.
part of September, at best, which you don't want to run up against football. So if I'm Dana, you want to say that because think about one thing about Dana White, he's always managed to do in July, the July pay per view. He makes sure that has always been a big
Yep.
schedule fight because he knows there's nothing up against it. Okay, you got the baseball All-Star game. Whoop-de-doo. What else
Yep.
you got running up against it? You may have had to
Tennis.
worry about the finals because the finals spilling over.
Yep.
But think about it, his July fight has always been that moneymaker. So if I'm him, I can see where it's July next year, July 2022, Conor McGregor, Poirier, you can almost put it on wax.
Yep.
Unless Conor has a setback. And let's say if Poirier loses to Olivia or whatever,
Yep.
or let's say he gains the belt and then loses in a rematch or
Uh-huh.
whatever. You can make a argument then maybe that trilogy should be in July and then Conor has to wait, you know. But we don't know. Right now it's up in there. God knows.
Yep. You got anything on your end before I get to the other? Before I get to the news, you got anything on your
Um,
end?
no, no, not for public consumption. I'll say some stuff for the sidebar.
Right. Okay. When it comes to catfight news, I know there's one fight that has been announced. I think is Kyra versus a new girl named Chloe Cummings. That was supposed to be August 16th through 18th. I saw that on her Twitter page somewhere today.
She's not new. Chloe Cummings is not new.
I mean, she's new to catfighting. She hasn't done catfighting. She's new to session wrestling.
She is
She's done
not new to session wrestling. She is not new to session
no, she's
wrestling.
done session wrestling. She's new to catfighting. She's never done it. I mean, competitively, I'm talking about against another
Yeah,
woman.
yeah.
When it comes to session wrestling, she's not doing session wrestling. She does a lot of session wrestling. I'm just saying she's new to this. So this is going to be interesting.
Okay. Um, I guess if you're going, you know what? I'll put it this way. I'm gonna say
I'm in
this.
it.
I don't know what's
Go ahead
all
and,
this. What's all the music? We ain't
that's
got to
my
be. We ain't got nothing
yeah.
license to be on.
No, that's my phone call called later. Go ahead.
I'm going to actually go out on a limb and say this. I don't care what type of rules or stipulations that they have. I think Chloe will win, and Chloe will win convincingly.
I agree. I think Chloe will win too myself. She won't be serious.
And the reason why I say that is because I have I have had two dealings with Chloe Cummings, and both of them, I would say she strikes me as the type of girl. If she was like to really give it a go for real, like she could put in work. But I can understand why she never wanted to venture this far out of the deep end. But if you're going to do it against somebody, Kyra, I think that's easy money. That's easy money. I would just do it just to watch Chloe just finally come into her own. That's something that I've always thought she could do. Now,
Yep.
granted, could you say it's kind of late in the game, a la a like well, age wise? I won't say age wise because I don't think she's as old as
Lyric.
Larry. Right. But talking about as far as stage and development in the career, like
Yep.
Chloe's been around session wrestling for years, man. Chloe probably got started not long after I got into the whole business of it.
Mm.
So um and yeah, so that's what I said. Chloe's been around. So I actually kind of like how Sherry Stone's got. I'm like, okay, I got to see this. I never thought I'd see Sherry Stone, but Chloe was one that I always felt like if she could find some big girls, whether that was really the Tulsa or Tangle, I would have loved to seen her. And I mean, she's done competitive, but not maybe to this level, you know. But it
Hmm.
would be interesting. I think I think she'll be good for it.
I think she'll win. Actually,
Oh yeah, she'll win.
I
I
think she'll
think
win.
she'll win.
She's. I
I
think
think,
she told
I think
me.
she'll
Go ahead.
win, and I think it won't even be close.
I see her winning like 4-1 or 4-2. That's not close. Not in my
I agree.
eyes.
I agree.
Based off
I
of what
agree.
we yeah, based off what we saw of Kira lately in her, and I'm not
I
even talking about the second round.
now. Did you buy the second fight with her and Gia?
Nope.
I did. I went ahead and did it for
Oh, you
Gia.
did?
I did it. I did it. The action was markedly better.
Okay.
Um, I didn't. I guess because I still had that bad taste in the mouth from the first one.
Uh-huh.
It was just, I didn't enjoy the second one as much
Right.
as I thought I would have. Maybe if I just wasn't in that frame of mind of the first. I tried to, I said, "Look, let me try to watch the second one for what it was. Not unlike what I did with the baby, Alexa baby, baby Barbie baby, with
Alexa Blonde Baby.
blonde baby. No, with the blonde baby versus sexy Wi-Fi because I
Mhm,
bought both. You
mhm.
know, kind of similar to that. It's like, okay, we're gonna see how much you learn, which and I enjoyed that fight better than I did the rematch of Gia and Kyra for rematches go. Um,
So you're saying it was markedly better, but it still wasn't, you know, up to par.
oh no, I would say it was part. I mean, I want to say from the action, it just my thing is with Gia because she's so great at acting
True.
is I sometimes be in disbelief if the hatred is real. I'm not saying that. You know what I'm saying? It's just that it was just because she's such a great actor. Like she could fake if she really wanted to be that by that life. She could really fake it, but and just have you believe. So it
Right.
was just more so Kyra. I was just like it was. It's like with Kyra. I always feel like she's less than a potential. Gia's gonna give you a show, and Gia's gonna come out and give you a show.
Right.
Kyra, I just always feel like just don't hold up her end of the bargain.
That, uh,
I just
that
it's
you
like,
that
but
leads me into it. Yeah, I agree with you.
we'll
That leads me into it. I agree with you. I feel like Chloe's going
now
to
with this
win that one.
Kyra shoot with Chloe. Are they doing this in Baltimore?
Yes.
No.
Yeah. I'm going to actually take a chance on this one.
Yes, but it's just my thing is I think if for Kyra for development, she got to do shoots outside of Baltimore. The setup is okay. It's not bad. That she needs to shoot. This is personally, in my personal opinion, the difference between her setup and my setup is that the fact that she's on the 95 corridor, I am not. And just
Yep.
location, location, location. And
Yep.
95 is one of those corridors you can go up and down and you can hit up people. Blah, 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 blah. It's just what
Right.
it is. It's just what it is.
Right.
We've talked about this ad nauseum on shows on previous episodes where having that's an advantage. That could
Yep.
be a big time advantage.
Yep.
Having that having that yeah, big time advantage.
And other news, Lyric talked to Lyric earlier this week. It looked like she's having three fights. She had like three fights left in her before she
Oh, okay.
retires. She has three
Oh, okay.
fights, and the three fights are Sarah Brooke, Alexa Brooke, and I think the last one was Sexy Wife. So yes, it looks like the Sexy Wife Lyric fight is going to happen. We just don't know when, but it's going to happen. And a little bit of news: Tilly's not producing it. If that gives you one, Tilly is not producing it. There's been a change. It looks like my guy Adam is going to be producing this fight. This should be interesting because we all know how Adam does with his camera work. He's one of those people that gets in close to the action, kind of like you. So that should be interesting. Not saying I'm not trying to knock Tilly, but she. If you saw the fight between Alexa and Davina, you saw a lot of back shots, a lot of shots at the back and everything. We missed a lot of action. My guy Blake even said that. He told me such. It was interesting.
Did you think the venue had something to do with it? The new venue, or
Possibly. I don't think the new venue was terrible. I thought the new venue was great, but
I
we
thought it
got a
was
lot of
great.
back shots.
Right.
I
So,
went back to look at the film and I saw a lot of back shots. You know what I mean? I'm not trying
right.
to say nothing wrong, but we missed a lot of actions in the front. It's not Blake even showed me a picture of her of Lyrics fight versus Davina and how Adam got close, got a close up shot. Not too close, but not too close, but long enough that we could see the parts. I'm not saying nothing against Tilly. I'm just saying I'm
Okay.
just saying. I went back and looked at it. That's what I'm saying. I saw a lot of back
So
shots. I'm
she
not gonna
has
lie.
3 fights left. She would use. So I thought of using somebody like Candy Drippers out. So you
Oh,
say
she's completely out.
yeah. So we're looking at. You said who was that again?
Sexy wife,
Okay.
Alexa Brooke. If Alexa Brooke actually decides to do it, and Sarah Brooke.
That's going on the bang with the two of the top three. You going to against the top of the food chain. That definitely would shake stuff up.
And
Um,
if you remember, she was on our show like what, a month ago or 2 months ago, and she said she wanted Sarah Brooke, she wanted Sexy Wife. She said this. You
right,
remember this?
right. The Alexa Brooke thing was because we knew Paris would never be.
No chance.
Given Alexa, she've already fought Valor. She against Reagan, it would not even work because of the size difference.
Yep.
At least if she would have fought Alexa Brooke, you could reasonably say Lyric have fought everybody. Now, whether all wins, loses, or however it goes,
It don't
you
matter.
know, it don't matter. I'm a little disappointed with the sex one because again, I don't think 20 minutes is going to be enough.
I agree.
I really. Now, if you tell me that, look, I only will fight 3 more people,
That's what she said.
and three
She'll
more
only fight
people,
3.
and 3 more people are two different things because we've said on the show a match with, to be honest, taking Alexa Brooke out, a match with Sarah Brooke and a match with Sex Wife.
Sex, it will
20
not
minutes
last.
is not going to be
Nope.
enough.
No.
20 minutes, you're going to sit there and you're going to be like, with Sarah Brooke, not saying Sarah Brooke has slowed down at all. I mean, age catches us all, but I can legitly see that end of the draw. And I don't know how Sarah would feel about it, but I could see Lyric not being happy if it ends in a draw.
No
Or,
chance.
it doesn't matter if it's 1-1 to 0-0, 2-2. It don't matter. If it ends in the draw, Lyric's not gonna be happy.
No. I can see a rematch. I can see another match between those two.
That's
Clearly.
why if you tell me I got 3 people left I want to fight, I can legitimately make a case. I can't see Sarah because they already fought once and they had a draw.
Yep.
And if they fought again, I don't see a thing of enough of an appetite to say, okay, now let's do a third one for the trilogy. No. But with Sexy Wife, I could see that. That would be what we talked about before. I would love to see that as an Iron Woman match because I
Yep.
don't think 20 minutes is going to be enough.
I don't think so either.
I just don't think. Like
So you're thinking 60 minutes with what, 2 breaks in there or 3?
2 breaks because the way I would do it is I would have 20 minutes because so the whole thing is over in 90 minutes, an hour and a half.
Yeah.
So you have 20 minutes. You take it's 20. Yes. It's 20 minutes. You
Uh-huh.
break 15 minutes. Then you
Uh-huh.
come back, do another 20 minutes. You
Uh-huh.
break a second 15 minutes. Then you do the last 20 minutes, and then you're done.
Okay, so let's say they do the 60 minutes and still no one wins. What's the next suggestion?
That was the best. Wasn't it like a Chris Benoit Kurt Angle thing? They did that like an Iron Man match for an
Yep.
hour, and it ended up being a tie.
Yep.
And we got to watch great wrestling for a solid hour.
Yep.
And that's all. I'll be like, you know what? I'll just
So
enjoy it as
so basically we after 60 minutes, there's no winner. We just call it as such and keep it moving.
we just say that I'm not a big guy of ties. I'm not a big
Neither
fan
am
of
I.
ties, but
Neither am I.
it's one of those things to see that for 60. And then we're talking about you fought 60 minutes within 90 minutes. We ain't trying to do 60 minutes straight. It just they're not at that.
No, no,
They
no, no,
just
no, no.
not. Nobody. But to do 60 minutes inside of 90 minutes and to give that type of Herculean effort, I mean, I just can't. All I can do after that point is tip the cap. I'm just
Yeah,
like, you gave us because that's 3 matches worth. I would support it. I'll
I
sponsor
would.
that. I
Me
would
too.
think, or even if they just don't want to do, let's say, or if you do 3 15-minute sessions,
Close enough.
45 minutes, and then you break 5 minutes in between, and then that's an hour. You get 45 minutes out of the
Mhm.
hour. It just needs to be 3 sets of something. Um,
So three
because
15 minutes or 3 20 minutes, either one.
I would prefer the 3 20-minute format, and
Yep.
then with the 15-minute break.
Yep.
Now you can argue at a 15-minute break, you may cool down too much. So if you want to do the 3 15-minute sessions and a 5 minute break in between, that way when you start, you got an hour. You fight for 45 minutes out of the hour. Now, if you really look at it, if you do it in that vein, that's almost like boxing. What is it? 15 rounds. Think about it. When you have 15 rounds, 15
Uh-huh.
rounds is three, and boxing is 15 3 minute rounds
15
with a
3 minute round.
minute in between for
Yep.
rest. That's the
Yep.
same length of time.
Yep. Good point.
So,
Yeah. And as for the Tilly thing, it was interesting because I asked her about your tournament thing, and she's like, "There's certain people, like you said, Candy wasn't that great, so she has no interest in her anymore. So there's that.
uh,
Paris is retired right now. I seriously doubt she'll come back next year. I'm just saying. I
uh,
feel like she's pretty much retired. Brooke Gilly's not available until April of next year. That's what I was told. So that shocked me. Like, whoa, April of 2022. Whoa. So we ain't seeing her anytime soon. So there's, I hate to put that on, but I have to. So that's the end of Brooke for a while. I thought not Sarah Brooke, the other Brooke. We ain't gonna see her. I guess LFC thing is on her thing. I don't know what's going on there. Uh, she's gun shy about Kyra. You get the reasons why, so that's expected. Everybody else, we'll see. We'll see, man. I don't see any fights coming in very soon. Your girl, Kyla. I guess Kyla, your girl. I think she was talking about something about I need like $2,000 for something. They do a fight, Kyla. That's all I'm gonna say. If you need that kind of money, do a fight. Tilly will pay you. Sweet Fights will pay you.
right.
If you want to fight, man. If you want some money, go to them. They'll tell you. Speaking of Sweet Fights, I think he has a fight coming up with Alexa Kiss versus a new person. I've never heard of this new person, but that's supposed to be in August. So we'll see what becomes of that. What else? What else did I hear? That's it for the news. There's nothing more. It's kind of we're back to our cycle, Klaus. We're back to our cycle of fights off for a few weeks, couple more fights off 3 weeks.
I think, and this is just a sudden feeling over me. I think we have come to a point, not that we're all tapped out.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, and I'm just saying from the American side, because overseas, maybe with Cats Review or something like that,
Oh,
maybe
speaking of
we
cast
can.
review, they just finished having a cat fight. Just finished having a fight between two new people last week. So
Okay,
two new people. One was Ruby, the other one is Lexi. They had two new people. So it was pretty good for two new people. There was a
okay,
winner. I'll say that
okay.
convincing winner too. At that. Carry on.
Okay, Ruby. I guess because there's been a girl named Ruby, throughout the history.
Go ahead.
But I think we've gotten to a lull at this point where I don't know if it's post pandemic or now
Uh-huh.
work is open back up, so you got people that don't want to do it, or I just I have a hard time justifying. I have a hard time justifying the money in any of them, or anybody. Like,
Mm,
outside of the sexy wife, Valor,
lyric.
Lyric,
Maybe
Reagan.
Reagan and possibly Sarah Brooke. I mean, sorry, and possibly Sarah Brooke if she decides to come back or
Right,
not.
and Sarah, and then with Sarah Brooke, because of the price tag is so high, too, I'm like, ain't nobody gonna be able to touch. And it's
No,
like you've earned that right. She's earned that
she's
right
earned it
with
though.
all the
She's earned it.
work that she put in. Like so, like I
Oh,
said, seeing her and Carrie, I've gotten to the point that ship, whatever.
that
We
ship's gone.
started a whole firestorm, and by now that done died off.
Oh, it's gone. It's gone.
I'm never expecting to see that. It
I'm
just
not either. That's gone.
I'm of the mind state now is like I just I don't. It reminds me of that period in the WWE after The Rock and Stone Cold and
Yep.
left, and then you had John Cena for a while. He had to try to make some other folk work, or like that period with The Rock, Triple H, Stone Cold kind of went off.
Yep.
So, you know,
Yep.
yeah. So and then you had
Yep.
Undertaker come back once a year, and
Yep.
I just
Yeah.
I just don't see it.
I don't either. I feel like the girls are to the point where like you said, they're tired now. It's right. It's to the point where it's like it's a money thing, like you said. They're doing more things that are giving them more income compared to this now.
right, but
And because of the
it's
bruises and everything in between, the
right.
recovery time is also part of the problem
Well,
at the moment. That's why we've been saying, in my opinion, that's why we haven't been seeing very many good cat fights because, like you said, people are not fit. People are not, physically fit. I'm not talking about or sorry, not physically, mentally fit. Right? It's about
definitely
mental.
mental.
It's definitely mental right now
I just
more than anything.
yeah, it's weird because it's I'm just perturbed at the whole state of everything. It's
Mm.
like I'm just perturbed at the whole state. I think it comes down, and I think Europe will always have a hand like between fighting dolls and fighting divas and fighting dolls and all of them that they're able to get these beautiful Amazonian women to throw down a scrap, and it may not be, all the clawing and stuff, but it's enough to where even if I could produce stuff on that level, again, I don't know how much they do on their pay scale or their pay
Mm.
rate, but it has to be enough to where it's not cannibalizing itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Whether it was DWW back in the day, Black Sea Amazons, which I still believe is the toughest women ever to walk the earth. Like
Yep.
I would put them up. I think the only woman tougher than them was the Amazon, the old school Amazons.
Yep.
Of the mythology. I'm putting the Black Sea Amazons up there with them.
Yep.
Them girls could just go, and just to try to find. I guess it made it more Spartan kind of thing,
Uh-huh. Yep.
but it's. I think a lot of it has to do in this country. You have. Oh God, I got so many things running my head. I wanted to sound coherent. I think you have the fact that we have a country or a culture where women teaching women how to fight or seeing women fight is considered a taboo thing.
Yep.
But yet we're in a country where domestic violence is just so out the yin yang. So for me, the
Yep.
scenario has always been simple: teach women how to fight. Men or predators are not gonna mess with the woman that know she can throw hands and like literally take them out. He's not. They're gonna go get another target. That's just how it goes. So. Um, so now taking that where you look at something like UFC, where you got some great fights, and then you have some fights like what happened with Conor. Boom, now he's down and he's out. But that machine would take care of itself. That machine, as years are going, has become more and more welcome, but it's not so much on the female side. Even I don't know. You watched the ESPYS last night.
No, I didn't watch it.
Okay, there's a clip you got to go watch the Page Buckets went
Yep. I
on the
saw that
thing.
clip though. I saw what she said though.
So even if you take that and you go into women, black female cat fighters, which is way on the other end of the spectrum, which I believe that has a lot to do with it because I have come across where I've had some talent that tell me I don't want to fight nobody black, and they'll tell me that. Well,
Okay.
so I mean, it's to the point where I just don't know. Even whether you black, white, Hispanic, Asian, whatever, I just don't think in this country in this culture there's enough because there's not enough of us to generate enough money to support this entire industry. It's just not enough of. It's just not enough of. Like we don't have at our disposable income $5,000 to $7,000. Like for some of these girls, I think if you put down serious money, like in that $5,000 to $7,000
They'll
range,
do it.
you probably can get anybody like, look, I'll just do whatever.
Yep.
Even girls that's been on the front. I mean, for some people, there's always going to be. I don't care how much money you put on the table, they just not going to do it. You're gonna always have some people like that, but it's. I just think as a community because it's considered so shunned. Like if you try to promote through Facebook or YouTube or Twitter or Instagram, you in borderline violation to get shut down. But yet you have USC. The only thing we're asking is like, look, we just asking, okay, the nudity thing, okay, if somebody gets stripped or whatever, okay, fine, that's one thing. But I think it's the fact that whether the outfits they wear and stuff or swimsuits they wear is adds that fetish element into the point to where now you get you basically get categorized as porn.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I think that's what always kinds of because even trying to I'm thinking about like I said, the one approach I thought about trying to do was just basically recruit ladies at NAGA tournaments, which that would be more on lack of better term, the straight and narrow. But I think for some girl, it's just every woman is different. So you have some that just, you know, this should be something that you should have pride and want to do. To the point where if you're up for something and they say, hey, you was in this cat fight, whatever. If to produce, you can say, yeah, that was a period of time. That's what I did, and I'm proud of what I did, or whatever. And I think that's the fear is that people fear of doing something that they're ashamed of.
Mm.
Or to the point where even if you was to do an underground fight league or just we just did like a strictly grappling tournament because there's a beauty in the skill of that. Like when you look at like a battle, there's a beauty in the skill of that.
Yep.
But you may add a few more roughhousing tactics to it. I can live with that. It just
Yeah.
I think that may be more of an audience for that
Yep.
to where it's because it's like you're not gonna. It's like these people that will go swim in the pool, but they won't swim in the ocean,
There you go. Different story swimming in the ocean compared to swimming in the pool.
even
Anybody
though
can
they
swim in the
both
pool.
water. They both
Yep.
are water. The pool have a lot more chlorine, so it's more sanitized,
Yep.
which probably explains why our friend Gary, went the way he's going with um the group in Ohio. Film fight. What is it called?
Fresh fight.
Fresh fight. Probably why it takes more of that tact. Um, so it is what it is because there's not gonna be no perfect box that all the girls can fit in.
No.
Because you got some girls that all they want to do is pull hair. They don't want to do no blows and that. They just want to sit there, pull another woman's hair out by the roots, and
Yep.
they want to show that they got a tougher scalp. You got some that want to do that. You got a few that want to just do full, no holds barred. Those come rare rare,
Very.
but you have those girls that want to do that too. Then you have those. Everybody's kind of in the middle. I've had some talent. All they want to do is sex fight. You know, um, it just everybody is all over. Everybody's all over the place, man. It just so nobody's gonna fit in one box. So I just, I yeah. So you got people. It's like you got the pacifists that hate anybody that always going to violence into the people that's like, oh, well, we'll do UFC, but you look down on sex workers, and you got the sex workers like, we won't do it. You see what I'm saying? It's like everybody like, and it's just,
Right.
I know I'm rambling right now,
It's
but
okay.
it's just that's how I feel, And then as a producer who love these things, that's why I said for like Chris and Adam, man, they have one of the blessings of life. That
Facts.
if they say, I mean, not saying that the ladies were gonna fight forever, but you can say for a 3 year period, a 5 year period, God forbid, a 10 year period,
Yep.
where you knew your woman not only is smoking hot and can throw hands, like she's literally one of the baddest women walking the planet on 2 feet.
Yep. This is why we have them in the
That's
top three.
there's something to say for that. Like, even if they was to do in the tournament with like say a Kim Lee or a well, now that would be a different level. Them girls out there like an amethyst hammerfist, or sativa mist or whatever. Now that's a different level. I think they would get them on endurance and stuff like you do a 20-minute match, they probably won't break a sweat. But um but for what they do, I think for like I said, easily for a sexy wife or for a lyric. Even for Lala, I forgot her husband's name, but um, to say that you can look at your wife sleeping in the bed and say, "I got one of the baddest bees or whatever, or women. I got one of the baddest ladies to walk the earth on 2 feet." Or you can say she's one of the five best in the world at what she do.
Facts. This is why we got. This is why we got Gary and Chris. You guys are looking. This is why we got you guys 2 and 3 for a win for a reason. They are that bad. All both of
Right.
them. Which leads me to
Like, like I could, and the fact that I could even live with someone who came in my life that was like, I would be willing to do it, but I just don't want to do it on camera. And we just do private matches that we can record and have a collection for ourselves. So like
Mhm.
I could even live with that because
Yep.
it's like I want to do it, but I don't feel okay, fine. But you have that group of leagues too, and you have those folks that's in there. But um yeah.
This leads me to the future of catfighting. I'm with you. I don't see a very good future right now, especially after Lyric and or God forbid Sexy Wife retire. I don't see much of
Yeah,
anything.
once they retire, that's it, Doc. We shut down the list, shut down shop. Right now, I mean, who else you gonna have that gonna
So
carry the
my list,
mantle?
my latest list already cost a firestorm already. So what else? But I really don't care, man. I don't care. Some of these ladies that are talking nonsense. Y'all do not
You know what?
understand what it is to be a fan.
I wouldn't be surprised in 3 years if we still here and we're doing a show like this. I would not be surprised if our whole show ends up being legitly we're just talking about the overseas fighters
Yep,
because there's nobody left here.
I can see it. I can definitely see our show talking about overseas fights. Definitely, I
I
can
mean,
see it.
it would be almost like how soccer has been slowly trying to make the game a foothold here.
Yep,
Like I've heard more people talk about Euro 2020 than I've ever heard talk about any other soccer tournament outside of the World Cup. And
yep,
I think a lot of that had to do with the way ESPN was pushing it, pushing it, and pushing it, and pushing it, pushing
yep.
it. Um, so, like I said, man, I could legitimately see where it's like we have nobody in America left to talk about,
I agree.
and we just have to talk about the European because I don't see that train stopping no time soon.
Mm-mm.
Even the new girls they bring in have some
Ooh,
scale up. I just don't see it. I just don't see it. Um, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got for today.
I got one more thing. Top 10 catfight companies. I don't care if it's all time. I don't care if it's current. Just let's think. Let's think as of right now. I already know who number one is. We already talked about them. Black Sea Amazons is number one for sure. Definitely number
But would
one.
you call them a catfight company though? I mean, these girls was throwing hands, but I mean, they threw hands. I
Would you,
don't know if I
what would
that
you
to me
classify
there was
them as?
more. That's why I'm thinking. I'm thirsty, so I'm trying to pour me something to drink.
No problem. No problem,
But
man.
they ain't sponsored, so yeah. I'm doing root beer, but they ain't sponsored. But
Would you consider them to
but
be like extreme, like UFC types?
yeah, they're kind of more. They are extreme fighting. It is unscripted, but
Oof.
because they was doing some hair pulling in some of their matches, but
Mm.
because they wasn't doing, um, I mean, they would punch your chest. So I guess it's breast attacks, and they did do some knees, so
And they
crotch
did
attack.
a lot of
So
face slapping. I saw one. I
yeah,
saw a video last week about an old video, and there was some vicious face slapping in that one, among other things.
okay, fine. We'll just fine. You went back to, even though some people may argue, they would say Crystal Films is probably more of your traditional
Yeah,
catfight.
Crystal Films in there too. I'm just trying to make a list. Crystal Films, throw them in there. I don't know if I'll put them two or three. It's them and ECN WC out of those two. One of them's gonna be two. The other one's gonna be three. I don't know.
Right.
And then really, I was gonna say, and then I'm gonna say we bring it because I have to give them some respect. Eh, could be them.
Yeah. Because you gotta have something with Dragon Lily. I still think because
Yeah.
is one of the best fighters
Yep.
um ever to walk and grace us. Her, Tomiko, and
Time ago.
all them girls, you know.
I gotta put them in the top five,
Um,
and then yeah,
Cheyenne Jewel back in the day,
yeah,
Elliot.
yeah. Me and Blake, we had an interesting thing because he said Fat Pharaohs before Tilly Town, which was interesting because Fat Pharaohs hasn't done anything in a while. I know he had some good fights, but he hasn't really done anything in a while.
Where does Sweet Fights get in on this list?
Oh, he's on there. He's on there.
Sweet Fights have to be top five.
He's in the top five. The question is he three, four, or five? Because, or is he two, three, four, or five? That's my question. Sweet Fights is on here. I'm just trying to figure out where.
I can
I'm not gonna put
when
him
you
one
talking
yet.
about production quality, when you talk about from a production quality standpoint,
Yeah, he's up there.
I got to
He's up
make an
there.
argument. I would take Sweet Fights over EC and WC
I see what you're saying.
from a pure production standpoint. I like Crystal Films fights better.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe because they're length or whatever.
Uh-huh.
And I think the thing that I liked about them is they did the thing of like I think it was like best 2 out of 3 or something like that.
Yeah,
With a lot of their fights versus okay, you give it a one and that's it.
yeah,
I would make the argument. I would put Sweet Fights over ECNWC, and that's saying a lot because usually
yeah,
Crystal Films and ECNWC has always been the two standard bearers. And
yep,
remember, as an industry, we was wondering once EC NWC shut down shop, we
yep.
all wondered, was there anybody that's going to be even worthy of holding the mantle?
And as we found out, it's Sweet Fights. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
Sweet
agree with you
Fights.
there.
I would definitely have to put Sweet Fights. If you put Sweet Fight and then you got Black Sea Amazon, that's 4. You put We Bring It in there, that's 5. You said I will put Tilly up there. I will put Tilly up there 6.
Tilly 6.
Um, Sarah Brooke is problematic
Yeah,
because the same argument I can make for Sarah, I can almost make for Carrie.
true.
Because it's like, and the reason why I would put Tilly over them two, because Tilly has also produced catfights with other girls, featuring and focusing on other girls other than herself.
Correct.
Whereas like Sarah Brooke, it's almost kind of like Sarah Brooke and Carrie. I haven't seen them do too many. I mean, Sarah Brooke has done some ones with like there was one with Bella Inc. and Kyra Reagan. That was a great match.
Uh-huh.
Um, so not that Sarah hasn't done any, but it just don't say. Uh, I just it just doesn't get marketed and promoted like your ECNWCs or now for skill level and like Sarah doesn't have anybody that came on there that could not go.
Yep.
Like you knew you wasn't gonna get a dud of a match.
No.
Like everybody, even somebody that was newer that we was kind of at least they brought the pain because you knew it's like so Sarah's standards was high, which is may attribute to why she didn't work with a lot of people. Because
Mm.
it's like if you're not gonna Sarah would be kind of the sob. Okay, fine. The sob. Acquired taste, it's like it's because no, hear me out. Because
I'll hear you.
Saab have always been innovative of stuff. Like Saab was the first one to do the heated seats and steering wheel. Saab was the first one to do power brake. You know, Saab was like the first car line to do a whole bunch of stuff.
Gotcha.
And
Gotcha.
so Sarah was kind of like the first ones to start, like that one of the first ones to do the independent thing as a solo person
Correct.
and make it work. Because if there was no Sarah Brooke, I don't think Tilly could be able to step out and do what she did.
Facts.
Um, Carrie with Carrie Spectrum, Carrie, I'm
Mm.
not sure of her origin, so I can't say yes or no. You know, was the thing in a special customer request and she took it over and whatever. I don't know. So
Then that brings me to I'm gonna bring up to three other people. I'm gonna bring up East Coast cat. Sorry, East Coast cat. East Coast was it? No.
no, I would never put them in on that
All
list.
right. Then there's Adam with his thing where he usually has lyric fighting against some good fights. He's had some very good fights. He Adam.
I wouldn't put him on that list either.
And then there's Chris too, but with his wife.
Which they would be honorable mention, but I wouldn't put them on that list either.
Okay, so they're
I
honorable
wouldn't put them in.
mention. So who's honorable mention? Uh, Will Chris is. Who
I
else
would
is
put
honorable
them
mention?
two. I would put them two people you mentioned honorable mention. Fat Farah, I'm kind of on the borderline of whether he gets on the list at all or honorable mention. Because think about it. You're talking
Okay,
about the history of Catfight. Even again, we have not added Cat's review. We haven't done anything with Fight Divas. We put Black Sea Amazon, but we didn't put DWW.
oh
You
yeah,
see
that's
what I'm
on there.
saying?
That's on there.
If you
That will be on
if
there.
you're trying to do 10, you can't do 10 and not put DWW. And some people will argue, even some of the earlier APL stuff
Yep,
back in the day
yep.
would rival just about anything that was out here.
Right now, we're not
With
ranking anything. I'm just
Fatu,
right now. I'm not talking about ranking
but
them
just
fight
even
games. I'm
coming
just
up
putting
with
out stuff.
10, it's like if we're gonna put Black Sea Amazon, you can't put Black Sea and not have DWW as its own entity or fighting divas or now if you want to wrestling Monica, if you want to leave them all out and just do Americans, I hear that. But if
No,
we're
no,
gonna
no.
do
I'm doing
worldwide,
my list. My list is gonna be worldwide. We're not just doing America. We do the
okay, well
worldwide.
then it's just 10 ain't gonna be enough.
I
10 ain't
know,
gonna
but
be enough.
we're gonna have to find a way to put 10. I know there's some people who are gonna be not happy, but we're gonna have to put 10 in here.
Ooh. You know what? I may let you post that, and I might retweet. I may just like it and just be like, no, y'all
I'm
gotta go
not.
yell at Clem because I'm not going to even get
No, I'm
into
not gonna
that
post that.
mental
No, no, no.
faculties of
You
trying to
could.
get just because it's too much. And I guess I feel kind of biased because I'm a producer, so it's like for me, it's kind of like I would abstain. You know, uh, I would also. We still got three people we hadn't even said yet that is part of the reason why I thought of ever trying it. One is Chardonnay with green eyes.
Uh-huh.
Dude, you can green eyes with the Chardonnay. You can't talk about the history of it in this country and not talk about green eyes. That's one of them.
Okay.
Second one we're gonna talk about is Vyra,
Yep.
who after the ECNWC, her and was it Bob? I think it was her husband.
Yeah.
I think it was Bob. Yeah, was able to do a small, had some small and great success with that. And then three, again, another person who left ECNWC because Jen left to do help with um the one we bring it,
Mm-hmm.
but Holly,
Yep.
Holly with Angel, what was it? Catfight Angel,
Gotta find an angel.
which they was my dream. The way Catfight Angel was set up, even though Renee gave me that spark and inspiration to do it, Southern Belle, hey, we can throw hands or whatever. And Vyra was like, okay, that was the first time I could see where you can have you and your husband, y'all was a partnership. Because whereas Renee, it was just pretty much her. Her
Yep.
husband really wasn't in, other family members weren't really part of the equation with it. Whereas with Vyra, she had a husband and how they was a team, production team, putting together stuff. Okay, that gave me, well, maybe I could find a lady or somebody like that,
Mm.
romantic interest, what have you. Then to go with what Holly has done, the look, the demeanor, the type of fights, the clothing outfits was always, and the sass of what her girls was always what I aspired to get to. That was my personal favorite. Even though it was like if I could have took that look, the way her website looked, the way it functioned and moved, if I could have took that and maybe a cross between that and Crystal Films, I would have been happy. I have been pleased as punch.
Don't worry, I'm
And
not
that's
gonna
what
put it
I've
on.
always
Yeah.
tried to get to.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna put it on Twitter. I'm not causing any more firestorms. I already created enough already.
Right.
I'm not putting
So
that other
that's why
fire
I said
there.
they have to. They want to argue. They can
I know.
come on the show.
I'm just saying. I'm going to just put it on the show. I'm not going to put it on Twitter. I'm not starting no more fires. I already started one a while ago with my last
Right.
list I made. I already started Firestorm already, so I'm not doing all that. So yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I don't think we got any more things to say here. Let's be serious.
Nope. Not more for me.
All right, socials. Clem underscore AKUFO on Instagram. Clem Okufo 238 on Facebook. And Clem Okufo on Twitter. That's it, pretty much.
And I am on Claws Web, CLAWSWEB on Twitter and Instagram. Yes, I still have the Instagram for another week.
Huh?
Yes, ma'am. 1 minute. Go ahead.
Yep. Well, I guess they kind of Benedict the show. So, um, yes. So that's pretty much it. Every second and fourth Monday, 9:30 p.m.
Yep.
Yes. So until next time,
You
I
look good.
guess for Clem Kufo, I am Caldwell Kaiser. Until next time,
Wild.
we are out and peace.
No.